Okay, this video is about focal length. So focal length is like a specification when it comes to lenses, and it's basically the degree of magnification. Like this right here is a mid-range focal length. If I was to do a telephoto focal length, it would, from the same position, it would be cropped just probably around my head. And then if I were to go wider, like an ultra wide focal length, it would be, much wider. You would see my whole body. Now, this is really important when it comes to photography. Actually, a good way to explain focal length is, okay, like this camera right here, it's got two different lenses, okay? This top one is the mid-range, it's a 35 millimeter focal length. And then this one is a telephoto, which is, it's going to be more zoomed in. It's like a 70 millimeter focal length or something like that. Also, like on a lens like this, where this is a 10 to 20, so focal length is from 10 to 20. So 10 millimeter focal length would be real wide, and then when you zoom, it would be a tighter focal length, so it would crop more. This is very important for photography because the focal length you choose is going to change how the image looks, okay? For example, like when you're shooting real estate, this setup right here is for shooting real estate at 10 millimeter. That's really wide. Okay, so if I was shooting like a living room, if I shot with a 10 millimeter, I could get the whole room in shot. Okay, but if I was outside and I was trying to zoom like way across a lake or something to photograph like a deer that's drinking water out of the lake, okay, I would want to zoom way in. That would be a tighter focal length. Now, the reason this is important is focal length completely changes the way a shot looks. Like you could be standing in the same spot and shoot a photo with two different focal lengths, same camera, same spot, but when you shoot it with a telephoto versus a wide, the entire image is just going to have a different feel to it. Okay, so understanding how to use focal length is really important, and that's why the iPhone 11, I'm shooting with it right now, but the iPhone 11 was such a game changer because it had three different lenses. It had an ultra wide, a mid-range, and a telephoto. So it gave you three different focal lengths, three different options as a professional. Okay, and that was the game changer for me because, originally smartphones, like they only had one camera on it, so it was like you were only given one focal length. Well, now you had three different options, which really is what, for me, made it a professional option using an iPhone 11, because I could go from ultra wide to mid-range to telephoto without changing lenses, all from my phone. And that was really the game changer for me. And understanding how to use focal length is really important. So I don't want to go into exactly how in each situation because that's kind of up to you, but just understand make a point to the next time you're shooting to shoot situations with different focal lengths and look at them and see how they are different, and it'll really help you become a more stronger photographer because you'll find there's certain situations where it's not about the camera as much as it's just how zoomed in or how wide do you want to be, how close to the subject versus how far. You can be really far away from the subject and use a telephoto and be right on top of them, or you could be really close to the subject with a wide angle, and it's going to give a completely different look to it. So understanding those different looks is how you can really it just gives you a lot more options, and you can make your work stand out, even if you're just using a smartphone. All right.